This conference will now be recorded.
Before moving ahead, few questions. The first question goes to Sampath. Sampath, as of now, how many locations available in India and how many locations available across the globe?
In India, we have 3 locations, and across the globe, we have 60 plus data centers.
Okay. Now, next question goes to Surya. Uh, when AWS launched, in which year AWS launched, and when Microsoft Azure launched? Windows Azure.
AWS in 2006 and Azure in 2010.
Perfect. Now, next question goes to Takshir. West India means which location, which city? If someone is saying West India means which city?
Means the south city, like what I will say.
West India means South city.
East India.
West, no. West in India. Okay, tell me. In India, there are 3 locations available. So what is the name of the locations?
One is Pune, and one is Bangalore, and other one I forget.
What is the name of the locations? So guys, in India, we have 3 locations available. The name of the location is West India, Central India, and South India. If someone is saying West India means Mumbai, Central India means Pune, and South India means Chennai. As of now, total number of the locations available across the globe is 60 plus. In India, we have 3 locations available. There may be a chances in some of the locations there may be a concept called as the region. If the data center or region size is very big, yesterday I said you guys, the location size will be something between 20 to 100 football ground. So all the data center or all location size is not so big. So in some of the cases, maybe 20 football ground, 50 football ground. But in some of the locations, location size is very big. In that condition, what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is dividing your location in 3 parts. I mean, your region will be divided in 3 parts. So that is called as the Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. For example, East US and West US. Here you people will go get the zonal services. In India, we don't have the zonal services available. In East Asia, we don't have, but in Southeast Asia, we have the zonal services available. Now, one question, and this question goes to Raghu. Raghu, what is the meaning of the zone? Any idea? Raghu. Anyone have any idea, guys? What is zone?
Like East Zone, like railways, we have East Zone, South Zone, like that.
Okay. So guys, if in future, whenever I'm saying location, if I'm saying location or region, both are same. Remember, in future, whenever I will repeat this or I will use this statement, location or region, both are same thing. But data center is something different. Data center is not the same thing. Here, no, Raghu, I can't hear you. Now, data center, there's a concept called the DC, and the other concept that is called the DR, disaster recovery. DC stands for data center, and DR stands for disaster recovery. So guys, in one location or in one region, there may be one data center or more than one data center. If the size of your location is very big, in India, we have 3 locations available. West India, Central India, and South India. If the size of, in some of the countries, the size of the locations are very big, like the Southeast Asia, West US, East US. So over there, what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is dividing your location in 3 parts. Suppose, yesterday I said the data center or region size will be something between 20 to 100 football ground. But if in some of the cases, if the location size is very big, maybe it's very big in few kilometers, maybe 5 kilometers. So what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is implementing a concept that is called the zone. So what they are doing in the same location, they are creating multiple zone. ZONE, zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. Okay, so whatever activity you people are performing here, it will be synchronized. Whatever the activities you people are performing in zone 1, it will be synchronized from zone 1 to zone 2, and from zone 2 to zone 3, and from zone 3 to zone 1. So your data will be in sync mode. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Atul, yes.
Okay, so this zone facility is not available everywhere. I think 8 or 20 regions, 8 or 20 regions where this zone feature is available. If any location size is very big, only over there you people will get these services, not everywhere. Using the zonal feature, people are getting the HA mode, high availability, means there are 4 types of application available: LRS, GRS, ZRS, and RSGRS that we will discuss later on. So here, as per the commitment by Microsoft is committing to provide the 3 copy of data. Means if anything you are going to maintain in cloud computing, then Microsoft will give you 3 copy of the data. So in case you are going to maintain your data in the same location, so what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is providing your data in the same data center, but in different rack, and different power source. That is one concept. But if the location size is very big, so what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is implementing your data, or they are storing your data in multiple zones. Suppose one copy of the data they will maintain here. The second copy of the data maybe they will maintain in different zone. Region will be the second. Physical location will be the same. Physical location will be the same, but zone will be different. Maybe it is available here in the same location, but tower number A, and this will be available in the same location, but after 2 kilometers. Third will be available in the same location, maybe after 3 kilometers. Guys, is it clear or not? This is called the zone feature.
Yeah, one question, Atul.
One second. This is a type of application that is called the ZRS, zonal redundant storage. Yeah, now you can ask your question.
Yeah, is there anything like only 3 zones should be present? It depends, right?
See, as of now, 3 zones available. Nowadays, Microsoft is making some changes. In some of the locations, they are trying to implement 4 zones, but still in progress. As of now, only 3 zones available.
Okay.
Okay. Now, hope if it is clear, then I'm going to raise this. One second. I'm going to save it. Now, one more thing. As yesterday I said, Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing is working on the subscription model. Here, it's not working on the licensing model, it's working on the subscription model. So in subscription, we have 3 type of access or 3 type of layer. Whenever you're going to use the portal, in your portal, you people will get total 3 layers. The outer or top layer is called as the subscription. This is the top layer. Here, this will be called as the subscription. If I'm going to provide the access on the subscription level, what you can see all the resources that is a part of the same subscription. The second type of layer is called as the resource group. Suppose in one subscription, what you can do, you can create a multiple resource group. I'll describe what exactly the resource group is. And under one resource group, you can create a multiple resources also. So suppose this is resource 1, resource 2, resource 3, and resource 4. So guys, the top level, whatever you can see here, this is your subscription. SUBSCRIPTION, subscription. And this is the resource group. And these are your resources.
Your voice get less, Atul. Your voice is very low.
Is it for all?
No, for us it is good. Yeah, it is good for me.
It's good for me.
So, Taksi, I think the issue is from your end. You can rejoin the call. Now, so guys, we have three types of access where you can provide access to your team member. One is the subscription level, that is the top level of entity. Here, this is the subscription level. If you are going to provide access on the subscription level to any user, if you're going to provide the access on the subscription level, so that user can access whatever the resource group or whatever the resources are available under your subscription. So this is the top level of entity. You can see it just like the director or owner of the company. Second level is the resource group. So if you're going to provide the access on the resource group, so any user, suppose there's a user name is Raghu. If I'm going to provide if I'm going to provide access to Raghu on the subscription level, RAGHU, to Raghu, I'm going to provide access on the subscription level. So what he can do, he can access all the resource group, this resource group, this resource group, and this resource group. Whatever the resources available under that resource group, he can access or he can manage. But if I'm going to provide access to any other user, if I'm going to provide access on the on the resource group level, suppose here I'm going to provide Sampath, here SAMPATS. Suppose I'm going to provide Sampath on access on the resource group level. So what he can do, he can access under same subscription, he can access this resource group and the resources that is the part of this resource group. Even he cannot see the other resource group or other resources. Is it clear to all of you or not, guys? I'm going to show you the practically. Same thing I'm going to show you practically. Guys, is it clear or not?
Yes, Atul.
Yes, clear.
Now practically I'm going to show you. So guys, yesterday I said here we have the Microsoft already provided the portal. This is your landing screen. Whatever the small boxes you can see here. Earlier in Windows 10 it was called the tile, but for we people this is called the resource. So here we have multiple resources available. What I'm doing, I'm going to remove all these resources. Here, remove doesn't mean that I'm going to delete. I'm just going to remove from the dashboard. Everyone please go on mute. I would suggest you guys to go on mute whenever you have any question, unmute and ask your question. So guys, finally I'm done here. You can see this is my dashboard. What I'm planning, the very first service that is available or that people are using in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing is the resource group. So you can see on the left side, yesterday I said, whatever the options you can see here, people can see lots of services available: static web function, app service plan, SQL database, and other services. Sharan, please go on mute. Sharan, please go on mute, guys. If people are not on mute, whatever the video I will share with you, the recording will not be good. You people will get lots of noise in background. So I would suggest everyone to be on mute. Whenever you have any question, unmute immediately and ask your question. Now, so see guys, this is our subscription. In this subscription, the landing screen is called the dashboard. Whatever you can see on the left side, these are my favorite services. Under Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing, here we have the hundreds of services available. Doesn't matter from which background you are, you people can use all the services depending on your business requirement. Suppose for one project you are looking for the Active Directory, then you just go and use the Active Directory. For other project you are looking for the storage service, you can use. So guys, here we have hundreds of services available. Depending on the requirement or depending on the business requirement, you people have to use it. Whenever you are going to create anything, the first and very first service that you people have to use is the resource group. See here, this is one of the service name is resource group. Now a question is coming, what is the resource group? What is the resource group and what is the purpose of the resource group? Anyone have any idea? If you have, then please let me know.
All resources can be grouped into one particular group called resource group. It's a logical unit which contains all resources.
Correct. So resource group is nothing. It is just a logical container that is mainly used to maintain, or that is mainly used for the better manageability of your resources. For example, in your operating system, whenever you people are going to purchase a laptop, what you are doing first. Normally, you people are creating a drive, or you people are creating a folder. Even whenever Microsoft is going to install the operating system, they are not going to install every file in root. They are creating different folder, subfolder. In that subfolder, they are maintaining your resources. So whatever in system, whatever the folder, whatever the file systems are available for you guys, everything is just a resource. Whenever Microsoft is going to install the operating system, you can see in your C drive, this is my system. In C drive, you can see there are lots of folders. These folders are created by Microsoft. Why they created? For the better manageability. Otherwise, if under operating system, suppose there are 1 million dealers and other resources available, if Microsoft is going to install everything in the same drive, in the root drive, it's not easy to manage. It will not be easy to manage. So what is the purpose of the folder? Folder is also a logical container that is mainly used for the better manageability of the resources. Similarly, in cloud computing also, Microsoft is providing a resource or service. Name of the service is resource group. If someone is asking what is a resource group is nothing. It is just a logical container that is mainly used for the better manageability of your resources, and whatever the changes you are going to apply on top of your resource group, that will be applicable on the internal resources also. For example, here I'm going to create a resource group. Resource group and name I'm going to pass as a RG. So whatever the name you want, you can pass, guys. Or suppose my project name is guess. Okay, so what I can do, I can pass the name of my resource group like guess RG. Okay, now here, as of now, you can see lots of regions available. I would suggest you guys to create your resources nearby to your business location. If you are from India, your client is also from India, then you can go with the Indian locations. Suppose I'm from India, my client is also from India. So here, a recommendation, I'm from New Delhi location, so Microsoft is recommending for me to go with the Central India location. But suppose my client is from Mumbai. If my client is from Mumbai, then I can go with the West India. If my client is from Chennai location or Pune location, sorry, not Pune. If my client is from Hyderabad location, Bangalore location, then I can go with the South India. Now, one question, and this goes to Sharan. Why Microsoft is suggesting to go with the nearby location? Any particular region?
For feasible access, easily they can access it, not to take much time. That's the reason I.
To avoid the latency, Microsoft is just recommending. They are not forcing. They are just recommending that, guys, you should use the nearby locations so that you can avoid the latency. The region worldwide,
Yep.
whatever the internet data is flowing, this is flowing through the optical fiber. Even if you are going to access any data, if any server available in United States, you are going to access the same server from India. So you have to access through the internet, and the internet is not going to transfer through the satellite. Whatever the data is being transferred, it's not transferring through the satellite. It will be transferred through the sea cables. Now, let me show you the route. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm going to use the, suppose I'm from I'm from New Delhi. I'll go with the South India or Central India, whatever the location you want to select, you can. Now I'm going to create it. It will take only a few seconds, 1 or 2 seconds. Now, optical fiber see, guys, this is the way. Worldwide, there are lots of companies who are planting the optical fiber in ocean, and this is the route for the optical fiber. This is our India. In case you people are trying to access any data that is available in Thailand, so you people can access via this route, either via this route or via this route. Even if I'm going to show you the different route, C label, C route, ROUT. Okay, see here, this is a different route. Suppose if you're from India, this is India, and this is United States. If your server is available, if you have created your server or your resources, your database, your application, you have created or deployed in United States, and if you are trying to access the same from India location, so you people will access via this route. I mean, either you people will follow this route or you people will follow this route. In this communication, there may be a latency. There may be a latency of few seconds, maybe 1 second, half second, fraction of second, 2 seconds. If the traffic is going to increase in that time, you people will face that it's running slow. But if there's a few people, then you may not notice. Guys, in case you want to avoid such a situation, in case you want to avoid the latency, Microsoft is suggesting you guys to go with a nearby location so that you can get a better performance. Is it clear to all of you or not? Raghu, is it clear?
Yeah, clear. Atul, I just joined late. I just want to check, like, management group, have we covered? What is meant by management group?
So that is the part that is without any resource, I cannot cover the management.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Sorry.
That we are going to do. As I haven't started, I was just talking about the ABCD. Then I will.
Fine.
Started.
No,
Now I'll tell you about the B.
no issue.
So, guys, so first tell me, what is management group? There's nothing as such a management group. I think you are talking about the IAM, access management.
No. I mean, like, I read while going through the DZ 900. I just saw that image above management. I mean, management group under subscription under resource group under resources. Am I correct?
Same I was explaining here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I joined late. Okay. So above subscription, management group will be there, or nothing will be there.
Same I'm going to show you. I was explaining. I say I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Now guys, I don't know what I was talking about. Anyway, so okay. Anyway, so guys, what I did initially I created a resource group. Yesterday I said whatever the activity you people are going to perform on top of your portal, all your activities will be recorded, and here Microsoft will send your status in the form of notifications. So recently I created a resource group. So you can see here one notification I received from Microsoft creating a resource group in subscription, this one. Now in case you want to pin the same on dashboard, click on the pin to dashboard button. Now save it. This is my resource group. So resource group, what resource group? It is just a logical container that is mainly used for the better manageability of your resources. So what I was explaining here, I was explaining there are three types of access layer. There are three types of access layer in your subscription. The top level is called as the subscription. The second level is called as the resource group, and the third level is called as the resource. In one subscription, you can create a multiple resource group. In one resource group, you can create a multiple resources. Now what I did, the first one, the top level, whatever you can see, this is my subscription. Under this subscription, I just created one resource group. Now in case you want to check how many resource groups so far we have created, I have created total 3 resource group. One is the sale, second is the guest RG, and the third is the Azure storage. So far what I did, I have one subscription. This is our subscription outer boundary. Under this subscription, I created these 3 resource group. Now in real-time situation, whatever the subscription will be, whatever the subscription normally people are using in one team, or sometimes in one project, you people will get only one subscription. Normally 99% cases, you people will get only one subscription, and all these subscription detail will be held by a person who is working on the upper layer, like manager, like delivery manager, like the admin or architect. Normally the subscription detail will not be shared with all the team members. If in your team 20 people are working, so only the subscription will be managed by one person. Even what is the user and password, that will not be shared by all the team members. But in some of the cases, if your team member is asking for any particular role or rights, or they're asking for the access, that is possible. You people can provide any particular type of access to your team member. In case your team member is asking for the permission, so you have to decide whether you want to give the permission on the subscription level, resource group level, or resource level. So I'm going to show you that. So here you can see here we have the button left side, all services. Under all services, we have the general. Under general, here we have a service, name of the service is subscription. So just go and click on the subscriptions. So guys, subscription is the top level of entity. Now my subscription name is Visual Studio Enterprise with MSDN. Subscription ID is this, and status of my subscription is active. And in this subscription, what is my current role? I'm account admin here. Here I'm account admin, and what is the current cost that you can check here. Now, in case you want to provide the access, suppose as of now, I'm the admin of the subscription. Now, so what I'm planning for leave for 1 month. I'm going somewhere. On my absence, suppose one of my team member who is working as an admin or a person is working as an architect. What I'm planning to provide him also some role so that in my absence, he can manage everything. So what I can do, I can provide the access to my team member on the subscription level. So in case you want to provide the access on the subscription level, just select your subscription, same way, close everything. Okay, or if this subscription is already added and under your favorite list, so same you can access from here also. This is my subscription. Click on the subscription. This is your subscription. Click here. Now under subscription, we have a property. Property name is access control. Access control or IAM. This is one of the property that you people will get everywhere. Everywhere means you people will get with the subscription. You will get the same property with the resource group as well as with the resources. Now, in case you want to provide particular permission on the subscription level, that is possible. What I'm doing here, I'm going to check. I'm going to view. This is my subscription. In my subscription, they already have added 2 users. One is the Arad, that is me, and the second, that is me, and the second is my son. Okay, these are test account. Okay, now suppose what I want, I'm planning to access. Suppose I'm the account admin. I'm working as a delivery manager. Suppose I'm working as a delivery manager. So for this, I'm the account admin. Now in my absence, who can manage? Suppose every time I may not be available in office. So in my absence or whenever I'm on leave, in these 2 conditions, I'm going to provide a certain permission to one of my team member who is working as an architect or who is working as an admin. In that condition, what I can do, I can provide access to team member. Here, just go and click on the add button. Here, what you want to make your team member as a co-admin. You want to make him co-admin. So if you're going to make him co-admin, he or she will have the same right like you. But in case you want to put him under your level, then you just go and click at the role, and here you can select the role. Here Microsoft is providing lots of role. Would you like to make him owner, contributor, read permission, or any other permission? Suppose VM. Suppose you want to make this user as a contributor for virtual machines. You want to make him the contributor for the Azure virtualization, user virtual machine admin login. Or suppose the person is from storage background, so you can STORAG. So these are the different roles for the storage. But what I'm planning, I'm going to provide the contributor role. So just go and select the contributor. So what a contributor can do, grant full access to manage all the resources, means your team member can do whatever he want, but he cannot assign a new user, means he cannot allow or he cannot any new user. He can do whatever he want, but he cannot add a new user. Now, what is your team member email ID? So what you have to do, you have to pass your team member email ID. So my team member ID is suppose this one, jaguarits@gmail.com. So what I can do, I can select team member ID and click here and save. Okay, now this time I'm logging as a SCL Solution Group 6. Now I'm going to log in, and I'm going to log in as a contributor or as a team member. See here. Again, suppose now I went for leave. Now next day team member is going to log in. So whenever my team member will log in, see what he can see. Jaguar ITS1, this was the email ID. Now team member is going to log in. In this condition, this team member can see whatever the resource group, whatever the resources are available under that subscription. Means he can do whatever he want. Guys, he's just like the partial admin. He's working like the partial admin. Is it clear to all of you or not? He can do whatever he want. What he cannot do, he cannot invite to any new member. Any new team member he cannot add. Otherwise, he can do whatever he want. Now you can see here under by subscription, how many resource group we have? We have total 3 resource group. This user can see all these 3 resource group. How many resources available under this resource group? I have multiple resources available. He can view everything. The region this user have the access on the subscription level. Here, same I was explaining. If I'm going to provide you the access on the subscription level, you can see all the resource group and all the resources. Is it clear to all of you or not?
Yeah, one doubt. Can we move resource group from one subscription to other subscription?
It's a possible. Is in case who asked this question?
Surya.
Surya, in case you want to transfer any resource from one resource group to other resource group, possible. In case you want to transfer these from one subscription to other subscription, that is possible in specific condition, not in normal condition. If your email ID is attached with the multiple subscription, and if you have the permission, then only you can do. Otherwise, in normal condition, you cannot.
Okay, thanks.
So to extend one question, Atul, actually, for example, if I create a VM under Sampath, okay, under resource group Sampath, can I move that particular VM from Sampath to another resource group? That also possible, right?
Possible.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it's just like the folder. Resource group, nothing just like the folder. You are going to copy your resources from one folder to other folder. That's it. Now you can see this team member. This team member can see, he can manage whatever he want. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to remove this from the subscription level. I'm going to log out and log in as an admin again. Now guys, this is my email ID. Now again, I'm going to log in as an account admin. What I'm doing now, I'm going to remove the access from the subscription level. I'm going to provide the access on the resource group level. For example, your team member Taksej, today I provided you the access on the resource group level.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what you can see, if you're going to log in, you can see only your resource group. You can't see any other resource groups. You're the part of my subscription region. You're not going
Because
to create
you have given me a subscription up to that level. Means I cannot see your all resource group, but I will see up to my resource group.
Correct. Whatever the changes you want to perform, you can perform, but under your subscription, your resource group, not under subscription level. Means there are 3 levels. One is the top level, the second is the middle level, and the third is the lower level. So as of now, last time I provided the access on the subscription level. If I'm going to provide the access on the subscription level, that user can do whatever he want under that particular subscription. Now I'm going to provide you the access on the resource group level. So before that, I'm going to remove the access from the subscription level. Otherwise, it will override. So this is my subscription. Under subscription, we have the access control. This is subscription. Here we have the access control. Now from subscription, I'm going to remove this user. See here, this is my user team member. I'm going to remove this team member from subscription level. Now what I'm doing, under my subscription, I have 3 resource group available. See here, I have 3 resource group available. Now I'm going to provide the access to my team member on the resource group level. This is my resource group. Under resource group, same property you will get here also, access control. Just go and click on the access control. Under access control, click on the view and see here, as of now, only 2 users. They have region, they have the subscription user. Now here I'm going to add the same user. Click on the role. I'm going to provide the read access permission. Suppose guys, this time I'm going to provide the read access permission. Now Jaguar ITS, this is my team member email ID. If you are going to provide access only for the monitoring purpose, you can provide read access permission. But if you want to make him the contributor of the resource group, you can. Now you can see, now this time your team member is a part of your subscription, but what he can do, he can only view whatever the resources are available under this subscription. Or what I'm doing, I'm going to provide the access on this resource group level also. So see here, I'm going to click on add roles and assignment. And on top of this, I'm going to make him contributor. Now user ID is this. This is the email ID that I'm going to add. So now you can see under this subscription, there are 3 resource group available. Oh, it's already added here. Okay, in different section already added. Now you can see here this is the contributor, and on this resource group level, this user is available as a reader. Now I'm going to log in and as a contributor again, as a team member. So just wait 4 minutes. You're going to log in now. This time I'm going to log in as a team member. And now I don't have the permission on the subscription level. I have the permission on 2 resource group level. I have 2 resource group available. Now in this condition, total I have 3 resource group available, but I have the permission to access only 2 resource group. What I can do, I can view 2 resource group, but I can write under 1 resource group only. Now you can see here, this is the resource group. Under actual subscription, there are 3 resource group, but I can see only 2. Guys, is it clear or not? Actual under this subscription, there are 3 resource group available, but this user can access only 2. Salma, is it clear or not?
Atul,
Yeah, that's it.
you have created one resource group as on my name, right?
Correct.
So under this is my subscription. My resource group is I am the owner of the resource group, right? So I will create another resource group under my resource group.
No, you cannot.
Or I will start only from the resources.
You have to start with the resources. You have
Only.
to whatever. Yeah, only. Okay. Even in case you want to have the billing and others, that also possible. So I have given you a boundary, or I have given you a room. In this particular room, whatever you want, you can perform, but not outside that particular room.
Means I am not able to create another resource group. Means only the subscription user has to create the resource group, right?
You can create the resources, but under that resource group, you cannot create any other resource group.
Okay.
Okay, you cannot create any other resource group. Whatever the resources you want, you can create, but under your resource group.
Okay.
Clear to everyone or not? Sharan, is it clear or not?
Yes, Atul.
Okay. Now, what I'm planning, I'm going to show you. Suppose this is the guest RG. This is the guest RG, and here I'm the reader. Now, what I'm planning, I'm going to delete it. For this resource group, here I have the read access permission. Now, I cannot delete. The region, for this resource, I can monitor only. I can monitor whatever the resources available under this resource group, but I cannot create anything. I cannot delete anything. But for the second resource group, I have the different type of permission. Here, if I want to create anything or I want to delete anything, that is possible. I can do. See here, what I'm doing, I'm going to delete this resource group. This is the name of my resource group. I'm selecting here and delete. Why? Okay. Why it's not allowing me to delete the region? This is logged. What I'm doing, I'm going to unlock it. Okay. So here, actually, through account admin, I have a logged, so I have to unlock, then it will allow to delete. So guys, finally, here you are the contributor. You are the contributor. If it is not logged, then you can delete. If it is not logged, then you can delete. But here you cannot delete. The region here you don't have the write permission. You have only read permission, and here you have the read and write both type of permission. Now, in case you're planning to create anything, suppose I'm going to create a storage account under Azure Storage. See here, I can create. Click on the add button. Here, if I'm going to select the guest RG, remember, if I'm going to create the guest RG, under guest RG, I'm going to create anything. If you have the permission, then only you can. If you don't have the permission, you can't achieve. See here, validation failed. We cannot. You're not authorized. You don't have the authorization to perform this action. The region for that particular resource group, I can monitor, but I cannot create anything. But same time, if I'm going to change my resource group, see here, if I'm going to change my resource group, here I can do it. See guys, I can do. Now tell me guys, is it clear to all of you or not?
Yeah, up to now it's clear. Like it is the access level, like what we are
Correct.
giving in the yeah.
And one more thing, if you, in your team there are 20 people, hundreds of people, you want to provide the access to all of user in single go, that is also possible through Active Directory. In Active Directory, in Azure Active Directory, you people have to create a group. Under that group, you people have to add all the team members, and whatever the group you want to assign here, that is possible. Remember, in real-time situation, if you are going to provide the access on the one person, this is the way. If you're going to provide, suppose in your company there are thousands of users, what you're planning, your people are planning to provide the particular permission to all the team members. So you have to create a group in Azure Active Directory. In that group, you have to add all the team members. Then it is possible. Sampath, is it clear? If yes, then we can move ahead.
Yes, Atul. Yes.
Okay. So up to this week, guys, I will move slowly. Once people will feel comfortable, then slowly I will move toward the intermediate level. Now, again, I'm going to log in as an account admin. I'm the account admin. One more thing, whatever the resources, whatever the resource group you people have, in case you want to prevent, you want, sometimes by mistake people are deleting the resources, and after that they are shouting, "Oh my God, what I did! So I deleted by mistake." So in case you want to prevent, that is also possible. So here we have the feature that is called the locking. What you can do in case you want to log any resource or you want to lock any resource group, that is possible. Again repeating, in case you want to log any resource or resource group, that is possible here. So today, just in 6 to 8 hour session, I mean, there was a different batch running 6 to 8. Today I was covering the storage. Here I logged it. Here, this particular storage account is logged. Sorry, this particular resource group is logged. Now I'm going to delete it. Now my contributor can delete if he want. One more thing, whatever the changes you people are going to apply on the resource group level, that will be applicable on the internal resources. If I have given you the permission on the resource group level, so what you can see all the resources that is the part of this resource group. In case you people are planning to delete the resource group, all resources will be deleted automatically. Again repeating, just like the folder, if in your one folder, if hundreds of files available, if you're going to delete the folder, entire system or whatever the resources are available on that under that particular folder will be deleted. Similarly here also, if you are going to delete your resource group, all the resources that is the part of this resource group will be deleted automatically. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not?
Clear,
Can
Clear.
you explain the delete? Can you explain the delete again? Means I did not get the thing. Means how to means if it is logged, I cannot able to delete.
Yeah, if any resource or resource group is logged, you cannot delete it. One more thing, Sakshit, now cloud computing, as yesterday I was saying, cloud computing doesn't matter from which background you are. Nowadays, this is very important. If you are in IT, working in sales, still it's important for you. If you're working in IT but in marketing, still important. The reason, if you don't know how exactly the cloud computing is working, you cannot convince, you cannot discuss, or you cannot put up your point with your client. This is the reason for this type of people, they are going with the 900. And if you're from technical background, normally people are following whatever we are following. So guys, doesn't matter from which background you are. If you're working as an architect, you are working as a delivery manager, you are working as a manager, you are working the fresher, it's important for everyone to learn. The reason, it will be easy for you to take your decision. Otherwise, people are just asking silly questions, or they are not able to respond during the defense meet. Now, so again, so here I was talking about the subscription level, subscription layers. So under your subscription, we have 3 layers available. One, the top level is called the subscription. The second level is called the resource group, and the third level is called the resource. If I'm going to provide to any of the team member, if I'm going to provide the access on the resource group level, resource level, so that team member can only access this resource. Even he cannot see resource group or other resources. Hope it will be clear to all of you. If it is clear, then I'm moving ahead. Now, this is my resource group. So far, okay. Here, in case you people want, you can create your infrastructure. So same infrastructure you people can provision here. In case you people want to work with the platforms, any platform you people want to set up, you can set up here. In case you want to set up any software as a service, that is also possible. You can do it here. Now, so again, I'm returning back to the subscription level. So if any service, remember, if you want to add any service under your favorite list, that is possible. Just go and click on the asterisk button. It will be available under your favorites. Or if any service that you can't see under your subscription, then I would suggest you guys to search under all the services. Here, just go and click under all services. Here, just type whatever you're looking for. Okay. Before moving ahead, one question, and this goes to Raghu. You guys want to start with the PaaS services first or as services?
Anything would be fine, Atul, because everybody have ABCD, right? Anything would be okay. Okay. So what I'm planning, okay, one more thing. Most of you guys are from infrastructure background or PaaS background. Infrastructure background.
So it would be better if we can start with the infrastructure service first. First service that we are going to pick up is that comes under the PaaS model. Name of the service is storage. Storage is the big topic that will take minimum 2 days, maximum 3 days. Okay, that is used by everyone. Even if you're from SharePoint development background, you people have to use. If you're from .NET development background, you can use. If you're from Dynamics background, still you people have to use. Doesn't, even if you're from admin background, you people have to use. So we people can start with the storage. So now.
Storage comes under PaaS, right, Atul?
PaaS.
Okay.
Okay. Before moving ahead, actually, I will give you one dedicated session on the monitoring. So when I will teach you the monitoring, that time I will teach you whatever the properties available here under subscription, all the resources, how to monitor your business, how to monitor your resource, how to monitor your resource group. Everything will be discussed when we will start monitoring part. So what I'm planning, I'm going to start with the storage. Now, one more thing. I hope everyone created your subscription. Guys, if you haven't created your subscription, you can create your subscription. Without subscription, you cannot move ahead. In case you people are facing any issue, then please let me know. So you have to go with the three model. Either you have to go with the trial subscription that is Microsoft is providing in free of cost for 1 month. The second option, you have to go with the pay as you go model. Over there, Microsoft will charge whatever they are charging. 100% you people have to pay. The third, in case you people want, in case you don't want to pay more to Microsoft or you don't want to go with the trial subscription, in that condition, we will provide one subscription dedicated we can provide. Same email ID everyone can use. All 9 members can use the same email ID, and but that will be the chargeable. So over there, you people will get 20% discount. The choice will be yours one. Now, so let's start from here. So guys, nowadays in IT environment, in IT or non-IT, you can see here everywhere people are talking about the data. And you know, in this world, what is the most costliest resource available in world? Maybe it's costly than the diamond. It's more costly than gold. That is the information. There's no price. Maybe 1 rupees, maybe free of cost, maybe billions of dollars. So guys, before moving ahead, one question, and this question goes to everyone. What is data? This is a very generic thing, but you have to tell me what is data.
Data is an information, I think.
You're 100% right. Data is nothing, just meaningful information. Whatever I'm writing here, that is also data. If I'm going to share any picture with you, if there's a meaning of that particular picture, that is also data. Whatever video, audio, CSV, TSV, PDF, everything is data. Nowadays, you can see entire world is playing with the data. Every day, you people are sending hundreds of messages, or you people are getting lots of messages from the different group. Whatever the messages you people are getting, that is also data. If you're going to create any server, in that particular server, whatever disk is attached, under that particular disk, there will be some information that is also data. So what is data? Data is nothing, just a piece of meaningful information. Now, so in 2010, when Microsoft launched the Windows Azure, whatever nowadays we are learning, it's not Windows Azure, it's Microsoft Azure. But in 2010, when Microsoft launched the Windows Azure, that time Microsoft introduced a service. Name of the service was storage. Storage was the one of the service that was launched by Microsoft with the launching of Windows Azure. The purpose of the storage was exactly that time Microsoft realized that in future entire world is moving toward the digital form of the data. If people will use the data, even they will use the mobile, they will use the laptop, they will use the digital devices. Definitely in that condition, the volume of your data will increase. Example, in Twitters, Facebook, LinkedIn, people are making millions of trillions of transactions per second. Worldwide, people are making trillions of transactions per second. Whatever the tweets you people are doing, whatever your posts you people are doing on Facebook, that is also data. So if the volume of data is going to increase, if the volume of data is going to increase in this world, it required a storage where you have to store your data. If you are going to create a VM, your VM backup is also data. You have to store somewhere. If I'm sending a WhatsApp message, that is being stored somewhere. If I'm calling you, whatever I'm saying, that is being recorded somewhere. So guys, everywhere here nowadays, people are playing with the data. In this current situation, the volume of your data is it's growing very fast. To keep all these points in mind, in 2010, Microsoft introduced a service. That time it was called as the storage. Now, in case you are from admin background, you can use. If you want to integrate the same storage with any programming language like .NET, SharePoint, Java, C++, Python, AngularJS, Node.js, Cordova, Xamarin, or anything else. You, in case you want to integrate with any programming language, that is also possible. Now further, this is service. Name of the service is storage. The purpose of the storage is to maintain the varieties of data. Data, it may be tabular data, maybe structured data, maybe unstructured data. Data can be anything. Maybe it's WhatsApp messages, maybe it's tweets, maybe it's Facebook post. It may be any tabular data or unstructured data. All the varieties of data you people want to store, that is possible. You can maintain here in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. There's a service. Name of the service is storage. Storage is the name of the service that from where we are going to start. And further, this storage is divided in 5 parts, or we have total 5 type of storage available in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. The first type of the service or storage is called the blob storage. The second type of storage is called as the table storage. Third is called as the queue storage. Fourth is called as the disk storage, and last one is called as the file storage. So as of now, we have total 5 type of storage available. You people have to use depending on the business requirement. Now let's discuss in more detail. Now, if I'm talking about the blob storage, so guys, blob or this particular as I said, this particular service comes under the PaaS model. Remember here, this particular service comes under the PaaS model. So if any service that is coming under the PaaS model, over there you people will get 99.99% of SLA. Guys, what will be the SLA? Storage. This is your storage. This is your storage. If you are going to create the storage account, storage. So first point, this particular service comes under the PaaS model. This is a just platform. Here, Microsoft is not going to maintain any network. They are not going to maintain any VM or other things. They will give you a platform. Under that particular platform, you can maintain your data. If the size of your data is terabyte, petabyte, zettabyte, still you can maintain unlimited data. In case you want to maintain, that is possible. So here, SLA of this particular service, first storage or Azure storage. Azure storage or Azure storage account is the name. This particular service comes under the PaaS model, and it's supporting serviceless architecture or serverless architecture. And SLA of this particular service is 99.99%. Guys, the SLA of everyone, please unmute, guys. So guys, this particular service comes under the PaaS model. It will give you the SLA of 99.99%. The charges will be very lower. Whatever the charges Microsoft is charging, that will be very lower. It will start with the 1 cent. 1 cent means 75 paise. So the charges will start with the 1 cent per GB per month. It will start from this, and maximum Microsoft is charging 12 cents per GB per month. Means in case you people are going to maintain 1 GB of data for 1 month, they will charge 1 cent. So this is the minimum and maximum. But if I'm talking about the average, so average charges Microsoft is charging 2 cents per GB per month. Average charges that Microsoft is charging is 2 cents per GB per month. Means in case you people are planning to maintain 1 GB of data for 1 month, then Microsoft will charge how much? 2 cents. 2 cents means 1 rupees and 50 paise to maintain 1 GB of data for 1 month. Hope this will be clear to all of you. Is it clear or not, guys? Guys, is it clear or not?
Yes.
Clear.
Here, internally Microsoft Microsoft is not going to provide you any network. They are not going to provide any any hard disk. They are not going to provide any VM. Everything is maintained by Microsoft. Only you people have to focus on the application and data. Whatever the data you want to maintain here, that you can maintain. Microsoft is not going to restrict. Here, what you can maintain under storage, you can maintain your messages. If any message you want to store here, in case you want to maintain structured data, or you want to maintain unstructured data. Unstructured means here you can maintain files, maybe CSV file, CSV,
Media files also, right? Unstructured.
yeah, audio, video, zip file, any exe, any backup, or whatever you want, whatever the resources you want to maintain, that you can maintain. Structured data means tables, in the form of table. Message, you know what is message. In case you want to maintain any hard disk backup, so format should be VSD. In case you want to maintain any file under seri mode, that is also possible. So these are the purpose. Now, in case anyone have any question, please unmute and ask your question. So storage is one of the service that comes under the PaaS model. It is used by everyone. If you're from development background or non-development background, you people have to use. This particular service comes under the PaaS model. It supports the serverless architecture. Microsoft is not going to provide any server. It is just a platform. The SLA of the service is 99.99%, means most of the time this particular service will be available. Now the charge cost wise, this is very cheaper. Microsoft is charging 2 cents per GB per month. 2 cents per GB per month. What you can maintain here in this type of storage, you can maintain any tabular data, you can maintain any messages, you can maintain any unstructured data, maybe you can maintain tweets, you can maintain CSV, TSV, Word document, whatever you want. In case you want to maintain any machines backup, you want to create any server, and whatever the operating system you are going to maintain of your server, that also you can maintain under it. Is it clear to all of you or not, guys?
Yes, Atul, Taskir here.
Yeah.
I have a very little knowledge about the administration part. Means I don't have any information about the ITs and all these things. So that's why I'm asking a layman. I'm asking a layman question. Layman question.
Now you will be after this course. Taksir, after this course, I'm also from the same background like you.
I know.
Now,
but
what industry is looking for? Industry is looking for the multi-skill guys.
What my question is? We are going to discuss about the PaaS model, right? This is the storage.
Correct.
So if I need to build a server on an application server, we can build in this storage.
Here we don't have any server. That's why I was saying here this is supporting the serverless architecture. In case you want to prepare any server, we have the different solution available. But here
it means it is a SAN storage type of thing. Means it is a SAN storage. SAN is the on-site, on premises, and this is on the cloud base, right?
Correct. That is a type of storage.
Okay.
And here you can maintain unlimited data. In case you want to maintain 100 GB data, 1 terabyte data, 2 petabyte
no, it's
data.
It's clear. It's very clear.
Okay. Now, so here I will explain. Total, we have 5 types of storage available. The first one is called the blob storage. So blob storage is one of the service that is highly available, that is highly scalable and highly available. Again, further, blob storage is divided in 3 parts. One type of the storage or blob is called the blob. Second type of blob is called the page blob, and the third type of blob is called the append blob. And the first type of blob, which is called the blob, is working on the sequential IO pattern. Means whenever you're going to upload some data, you people will upload your data in a sequence. The second type, here example of the blob is your file system, like your CSV, TSV, Word document, exe. These type of unstructured data you can maintain under blob. Now the second type of blob is called the page blob. Page blob is working on the random write pattern. So if there's no sequence, randomly it will read or write your data. Now, in case you're going to create any VM, so VM will come under the page blob. Whatever the operating system you're going to maintain of your VM, that will come under the page blob. Now, the third one is called the append blob. Append blob, exactly, whenever you people are going to maintain your messages, any message in case you want to maintain, that will come under the append blob. Again, repeating, storage is the service that is divided in 5 parts, or we have total 5 types of storage. The first one is called the blobs. Blob, we have 3 types of blob available: blob, page blob, append blob. Blob means if I'm talking about unstructured file system, if you are planning to maintain any unstructured file system, then it will go under the blob. If you're going to maintain any VMs backup, then it will go under page blob. If you're going to append or you're going to maintain any log file, then it will go under append blob. Guys, this point is clear to all of you or not?
Atul, only VM backup will be there in page blob, or any other thing in page blob?
The format would be VSD.
VSD.
Yeah.
Okay. Only VHD or VSD? VHD, right?
V for victory.
Okay.
Virtual hard disk.
Any other other than VHD, any other we can store in page blob, Atul?
You cannot. In case you are planning to maintain any backup, you have to go under blob. Suppose VM's backup, if you are going to create the image of the VM, that will be VSD. But if you're going to take the backup of your VM, the backup format can be anything. So VSD should be available under page blob, and backup should go under blob.
Okay.
Clear? Now, the second type of the storage is called the table storage. So guys, in real-time situation, in case you people are planning to maintain any tabular data, suppose you are working on CRM. Suppose guys, you are working in a CRM, maybe a dynamic CRM, maybe custom CRM, maybe Salesforce. Any CRM you people are using. Now, under your CRM, there is a module that is called the Marketing Cloud or Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud. Normally in CRM, Microsoft is also having their own product, own component, but still they have the partnership with the company name is Adobe. So somewhere they are going with their out of the box feature, and somewhere they are going with the Adobe product. Now, suppose whatever the data you people are going to maintain under Sales Cloud, under Sales, you people are planning to store the sentiment of your user. Suppose you have set up your CRM in a company name is Dabur India. In India, millions of people are using the Dabur product. In Pan India, millions of users are using the product of Dabur. And if any complaint, normally people are talking on Facebook or social media platform. Somewhere people are abusing, somewhere people are saying, okay, that's very nice product. So in case you people want to store social media footprint, so you have two options. Either you can store your data, whatever the tweets, whatever the chats people are doing, in case you want to maintain these type of huge amount of data, in case you want to maintain a SQL server, that is one option, but that is not the best option. It would be better if you can maintain such type of data in a tabular storage. Reason, here this is just example, but if I'm saying one example is the PMO tweets. Per day, millions of tweets are coming on the PMO tweets handle. And if you are going to maintain such type of data per day where you are getting millions of tweets, and you people are trying to store somewhere, SQL Server or databases may not be sufficient for such a big amount of data. In that condition, Microsoft is suggesting to go with the NoSQL. Database is one thing, NoSQL is something different. Normally databases support the RDBMS or DBMS, but SQL, there's a product nowadays available in market just like the MongoDB, that is called the NoSQL. In NoSQL, it's a working on the key and value pairs. You people can maintain your data in a form of table, in a row and column, but it's not over there. You are not going. It's not supporting the RDBMS. It's just supporting its own feature. But in terms of the capacity, you people can maintain terabyte of data, petabyte of data. You people can maintain. Here, you people can maintain petabyte of data in each table. If you have 100 table available, so few petabyte of data you people can maintain under each table. Takshir, is it possible the same thing is possible in SQL Server or not? Is it possible
No,
to
there is
maintain?
nothing. SQL Server will handle means not a huge amount of data. It cannot be.
Correct. And that is also SQL Server is also maintaining your data in a tabular format. There will be row and column.
Exactly.
That is also maintaining.
That
Table storage,
exactly.
but the purpose is different. Whenever you people
This
are
is
applying,
this is the one reason. This is the one reason. Just there is a warehouse management in Dynamics. That's why this is the one reason behind the failure of this. That's what I heard. What I knows.
So guys, SQL Server or oracles are used whenever you are talking about the transactional data. Means if you're going to make some transactions, then you can go. But if you're looking for the footprint, you're looking for the social media footprints, you're planning to store huge amount of data. Maybe the data is available in a tabular format, but uh, I mean, volume of data is very high. Maybe you are going to store the same for the history purpose, maybe for the future purpose you people are planning, then you can go with the NoSQL. In terms of performance, that is very fast, very fast. In terms of storage, here you can maintain huge amount of data. In one table, you can maintain petabyte of zettabyte of data you people can maintain, and multiple tables you can create. Maybe thousands of tables you can create. Whatever the data, whatever the amount of data you people are going to maintain, only you people have to pay for that. And dynamically, whenever the load will increase, whenever the volume of data will grow here, the capacity will grow automatically. Here, you no need to attach any disk. By default, the capacity of your storage will increase automatically. And here is working on the key and value pair. So guys, finally, there are two things so far I discussed. One is the blob storage and second is the table storage. Whenever you people are planning to maintain unstructured file system, then go with the blob storage. But whenever you people are planning to maintain the structured file system, then go with the table storage. So far, these 2 points are clear to all of you or not? Guys,
Clear.
Saran?
Yes,
Surya?
Atul.
What is fast key and value lookup?
Key and value. So, example, notepad. Just like the ID and details. Just example, as I said, it's working on the key and value. Suppose, as I said, it's working on the key and value. Key and value. Suppose, guys, the key is employee ID. Employee ID. Employee ID is E. This one. And value can be here. Name equals to
Got it. Atul got it.
Atul is 40 year. City Delhi. Company ENY. So this is your key. Against this key, there are lots of value. Here you can maintain your value in GB. Okay. Now, third type of the storage is called the queue storage. The purpose of the queue storage is to maintain your messages. In case you're planning to maintain any mobile messages, in case you people want to store your WhatsApp messages, or you want to maintain any application letter messages, then you can go with the queue storage. And the fourth is called the disk storage. So guys, initially from 2010 to 2014, only 3 types of storage were available: block, table, and queue. But nowadays, in 2015, Microsoft introduced 2 more type of storage: disk storage and file storage. These 2 are inherited from the blob storage in year 2015. Mainly, disk storage is used whenever you are going to create the VM. Whenever you people are going to create the VM, so whatever the disk you are going to attach with your VM, that will come under the disk storage. And this storage is inherited from the blob one. So you can see here, there's 3 type of blob, page, and append. And this is built on page blob. Guys, is it clear or not? In 2015, Microsoft inherited new type of storage from the blob storage.
Clear.
Now, in industry, we have 2 type of disks available. One is called the premium disk, and second is called the standard disk. Now, this question goes to Vignesh. Vagish. Your name is Vagish or what? Vagish.
Yeah, it's Vagish.
Vagish. Okay, sorry. Now, What's the difference between standard and premium disk? Remember, guys, this is one of the topics from where in exams as well as in interview questions, people are asking hundreds of questions. Hundreds of questions people may ask from this.
Yeah.
And this is a very big topic. It will take 6 hours to complete. Now, guys, in industry, we have two types of disks available. One is called the standard disk. The second is called the premium disk. If I'm talking about the standard, means I'm talking about the HDD, hard disk drive. And premium is SSD. The difference between HDD and SSD is this. IOPS will be lower. Guys, the input output operation will be lower with the SSD. And IOPS will be higher with the premium disk. HDD is working on the RPM model, round per minute. So if you're going to read or you're going to write some data, hard disk will, internally there will be a plate. That plate will rotate hundreds of times before reading or writing. And premium disk is working like the flash memory. They're just like the kit. You just insert the kit and it will work. In terms of the commercial, standard disk is very cheaper and premium disk is costly. In terms of the sizing, standard disk is big and premium disk is smaller. In terms of the performance, standard disk will give you the lower performance and the premium disk will give you the higher performance. So these are the basic differences between standard and premium.
Atul, one question actually. When we select the premium, data encryption will be there in premium, right?
So that is a part of storage. Whenever you're going to create the storage, you can encrypt your data.
Okay. No. What I mean is encryption will be there in premium, is it?
Yeah, it will be.
In standard, it will not be there.
It will be.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll show you. Now, so now the last one. The last one is file storage. So whenever you people are going, one second, please. Give me a minute. I have to attach my adapter. Okay, so whenever you people are planning to maintain any file for the sharing mode, then you can go with the files storage. So guys, blob storage, table storage, and queue storage is mainly used by a person who is from development background. Remember, if you people want to integrate your code, that is possible, and it is mainly used by a person who is from development background. And blob storage, disk storage, and file storage is used by a person who is from admin background. Remember, first, fourth, and fifth is used by a person mainly. I'm not saying only. It is mainly used by a person who is from admin background. And first, second, and third is used by developers mainly. Clear or not?
Atul, one question actually. Persistent disk means what? Persistent disk. When I see something like persistent disk.
See, Raghu, whatever the questions you are asking, I'm going to cover everything, but step by step. Here I'm talking about ABCD, you are moving ahead. So just let me proceed according to my way. Okay. The reason I'm starting with the ABCD, let me go with the step by step. Okay. But don't mind, but this is the fact, what I'm saying. Otherwise, I will miss lots of things. Even if I'm going to start with the intermediate, I will skip the basic part. Or 90% part, I will.
Fine.
Now, so guys, here, whenever you are going to work with the Microsoft Azure, here we have a service. Name of the service is storage account. See here, this is the storage account. Under this storage account, you people will get all the type of storage or sub storage. So if I'm going to create any storage account, under that storage account, you will get the blob, you will get the table storage, you will get the file storage, and you will get the queue storage. Premium storage or storage, this is also the part of the storage, but for that Microsoft is offering a dedicated service that I'm going to show you here. This is our portal. Now I already have added storage under my favorite list. This is my storage. What I'm doing, I'm going to create a storage. So here, create a storage account to store 500 terabyte of data in cloud. You can go more than that. Okay, use general purpose. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm going to create a storage account. How to create? Either click on the create button or click on the plus button. Now, whenever you're going to create anything, you people need a subscription. Without subscription, you cannot create. Remember, without subscription, you cannot create anything. So in my case, I have this subscription available. Now, here, my resource group name is GuessRG. So without resource group, you cannot create any resource. Remember, without resource group, you people cannot create any resource group. In case you don't have any resource group, so from here also you can create on the fly. Whenever you want, you can create a new resource group from here. Okay, click on the new button and pass whatever the name you want to pass. Otherwise, in case you want to reuse existing resource group, just go and select the existing one. Now there are few constraints. Remember guys, whatever I'm saying, just hear carefully. The reason during the interview people are asking all these questions. Even during the certification also, you people will get lots of questions from this topic. So now whenever you people are going to create a storage account, there are 4 constraints. The constraint number 1, the name of your storage account should be between 3 to 24 character. If I'm going to pass more than 24 character, I'll get the error here. See here, what is the error? The field should contain the lowercase. I have passed in lowercase. So 4 constraint number 1, it should be in lowercase. Second, don't use the special character. Third, it should be unique across the globe. And fourth, length should be 3 to 24 characters. So whatever the name you are going to pass, make sure it should be between 3 to 24 character. If you are going to pass in 2 character, it will not accept. Sorry, no, it's not going to accept. But if you're going to pass in 3 character, it will accept. Clear? So one thing, name should be in lowercase. If you're going to pass unique but uppercase, again it will not accept. So there are 4 constraints. Hopefully guys, it will be clear to all of you. There are 4 constraints. Name should be in lowercase. Length should be between 3 to 24 character, unique across the globe, and don't use the special character. See guys, whenever you people are going to create, here the name should be in lowercase, name should be unique, don't use any special character, and length should be between 3 to 24 character. Is it clear or not? Succeed, is it clear?
Clear.
Now,
clear.
if I'm going to pass name in small letter, HCL, see here, what error I'll get? The storage account name already taken by someone. So this should be unique across the globe. If I'm going to pass IBM, already taken. If I'm going to pass Microsoft, MICRO, micro, SOFT. See here, this is just part of a trademark. It's reserved by Microsoft. Now, if I'm going to pass SBI, State Bank of India, it's already taken by someone. So guys, whatever the name you're going to pass, make sure it should be unique across the globe. It should be in lowercase. Length should be between 3 to 24 character, and don't use any special character. Then only it will allow you to create. Same you can create using program, using the C# program, or you can create using the PowerShell, or you can create manually also. I will show you all 3 ways. So now here I'm going to pass any unique name like Jaguar Store. Okay, this is unique name, lower, and I'm not using a special character. Now, whenever you're going to create a resource, make sure you people will use the nearby location. As I'm from New Delhi, for me, Pune is more closer, so I'll go with the Center India location. Here I was saying there are 2 types of disk available in market. One is the standard disk, and the second is called the premium disk. Difference already shown you guys. This is HDD and this is SSD. HDD and SSD. Here, in terms of the storage, this will be economical. In terms of the performance, this will be better. Whenever you're going to create any disk, you can go with the premium. Whenever you're going to create any storage, go with the standard. Is it clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have three type of account available. Here we have total three type of account available. Account kind means account type. The first type of account is called the blob storage. Second kind is called the storage V1, and the third is called the storage V2. So if you're going to create any storage account with the blob only, so under that you will get only and only blob storage. You cannot create any other storage. One more thing, nowadays blob storage is also called the containers. Nowadays, recently changed the Microsoft changed the name. Nowadays this is also called as the containers. So if you're going to create any blob storage, so here under the blob storage you can create only blob. You cannot work with the other resources. Here if you want to work with the queue, you will not get it. File, not get it. File, not. Only under the storage account you will get only blob. So in case you are looking only and only blob storage, then you can go with the blob storage. But in case you are looking for all the type of sub storage, then either you can go with the storage version 1 or storage version 2. Now this is the type. So total interview, if someone is asking how many type of account kind available, total we have three type of account available: storage V1, storage V2, and blob storage. If you're going to create the blob storage, you will get only blob. You can create only blob. But if you're going to create the storage version of V1 or V2, over there you will get all the features. So this is generation 1 and this is generation 2. Suppose I'm going with the generation 2. Now mainly we have four type of application available in cloud computing. Yesterday I said Microsoft is committed to provide the 3 copy of data. Whatever the data you people are going to maintain in cloud computing, Microsoft will maintain the 3 copy of the data. So here to maintain the replication, Microsoft is offering 3 type of total. They are offering 4 type of replication. 3 type of replication is available in all the region, but one special type of replication that is called the ZRS, that is available with the certain locations available only. Now I'm going to show you. Okay, so delete everything. So the first type of replication is called as the LRS. Remember guys, the first type of replication is called as the LRS. LRS stands for local redundant storage. Let me open this. Wait for a second. Azure replication type. So the first type is called the LRS. Even today since early morning I'm teaching the same topic everywhere. I mean, by chance first time today I'm teaching in all the sessions, same topic is going on. So guys, so the first type of replication is called as the LRS. LRS stands for local redundant storage. See here, if I'm talking about the LRS means local redundant storage. In this condition, what Microsoft will do, Microsoft will provide the 3 copy of the data. 3 copy of the data Microsoft will provide in the same data center or in the same region. So here Microsoft will provide copies. Microsoft will copy your data synchronously 3 times within the same physical location in the primary region. So whatever the 3 copy Microsoft will provide, they will provide the 3 copy in the same location, but 3 copy, but in different racks. Suppose you are going to maintain any data. So what Microsoft will do, Microsoft will provide 3 copy of the data in the same location. Location will be the same, means data center will be the same, and Microsoft will provide 1 copy in this storage, in this rack, 2nd copy in the same location but different rack, 3rd copy available in the same location but 3rd rack. If you're going to select the location, I just South India. Remember here, if you're going to use the South India, so this will be your DC data center, means I'm talking about the Chennai. South India means Chennai. So this will be your DC data center. In Chennai location, you people will get 3 copy of the data. Location will be the Chennai, but 3 copy data in the same data center, but different rack, different rack, different cooling center, different power supply and networking devices. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not? Hey guys, is it clear? Now,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
please. You have any question?
No. Yes.
Now, so second type of application is called the ZRS. This feature is not available everywhere. Remember, the second type of feature is called the ZRS, but this feature is not available everywhere. I think 8 or 12 regions available where this feature will be available. So this one is called the ZRS. See here. In this condition, what Microsoft will do, Microsoft copy your data. Here in both of the condition, your data, they are going to copy synchronously. Synchronously, they will copy your data across the region, meaning in the same region, they will create 3 zones. One second. If the
Atul, what do you mean by synchronous?
Just like the multi-thread, just like the thread, multi-thread. Yeah.
Okay.
So what they are doing, Microsoft will, if the data center side, exactly this feature, as I said, this feature is not available everywhere. So in both of the conditions, in case of LRS and in case of ZRS, in both of the conditions, Microsoft will transfer or they will copy your data in 3 locations. Here they will transfer in the same data center, but the rack will be different. Here they will copy your data in the same physical location, but different zone. So what Microsoft is doing in this type of condition, instead of the data center, there are 3 zones, and this feature is not available everywhere. In India, this feature is not available. See, this is the second zone, and this is your third zone. Okay. Finally, this is zone 1. Zone 2, and this is zone 3. Now, whatever the data you people are maintaining under zone 1, that will replicate from zone 1 to zone 2, and from zone 2 zone 3, from zone 3 to zone 1. So your data, I mean, synchronous will be bi-directional. It's not single way. It's a 2-way communication. So whatever the data you people are maintaining, the primary copy of the data Microsoft is going to maintain here in the same location, but different zone. Same location, different zone, same location. So here in both of the cases, Microsoft will give you 3 copy of the data, but here all 3 copy of the data Microsoft is going to provide under same data center. But here region will be the same, but data center may be different. Maybe 1 copy is available here, second copy will be available in the same region, but maybe after 2 kilometers. Third will be available maybe after 4 kilometers, but same location. And this feature is not available everywhere. This is available only with the specific locations. Like in India, we don't have this feature available. In East Asia, we don't have. In Southeast Asia, we have. In East US, we have. Is it clear to all of you or not? Guys?
Clear, Atul.
Clear, Atul.
Anyone have any question, any confusion, then please let me know.
No.
Huh? So guys, so finally, so far we discussed 2 type of application. The first type is called the LRS, local redundant storage. In this condition, Microsoft will provide 3 copy of the data in the same data center, but in the same physical location, but different racks, different cooling center, different power source. Okay, here in this condition also, Microsoft will provide the 3 copy of the data in the same physical location, but different zones, different zone. Location will be the same, maybe East US, but zone will be different. maybe one copy available here, second copy after 2 kilometers, third after 4 kilometers, but location will be the same. Here cooling center will be different, power source will be different. Maybe here electricity is coming from the, suppose Haryana, the second electricity power supply will come from Chennai, third will come from the Punjab. So that in case of disaster, still services will be up and running. This is clear to all of you or not? If yes, then we can move ahead.
Yes, sir.
Atul, why no zones for Indian data centers?
Data
No
center
specific
size
reason.
is not so big.
It's not
What
supported.
happened? Actually, here we don't have such a huge amount of customers. Plus, data center location is not so big. Maybe in future they will convert, but as of now, it is not. In India, actually, if I'm talking about the United States, they are more techy. Here, people are more scared. Normally, people are not transferring their data easily. That's why.
So the Indian customer wants zone redundant, so then he will go for some other DC instead of Indian ones.
I'm coming on that. Just give me a minute. Now this
Okay.
is one. So now LRS and GRS, both type of replication is clear to all of you. Now I'm going to discuss about the other two. We have two more type of replication here. One type of replication is called the GRS. This is called the GRS, and the fourth one is called the RAGRS. So this is called the GRS. This is GRS and this is RAGRS. In case of GRS and RAGRS, what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will provide the services, same service they will provide in the two different locations. See here, same services will be available in two different locations. For example, I have selected my location as a South India. This is the South India location. South India means Chennai, which is my favorite location. Now, so here, Central India, which is Pune. So guys, in case of GRS or okay, one thing I forget to tell you guys. Okay. One very important thing I forget. The third type of replication is called the GRS. In case of GRS, Microsoft will replicate your data into different data centers, in two different locations. So if you are going to select your location as the South India, so what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will provide 3 copies of the data in South India. See here, in different racks. First copy here, second copy here, and third copy also here. So what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will provide the 3 copies of the data in the same location, and 3 copies of the data they will maintain or they will create in replicates. I mean, in a DR side, disaster recovery side. So yesterday I was talking about the peer data center peering. As of now, the total 60 data centers or 60 locations available. All the locations are paired with the specific one. If I'm talking about India, we have 3 locations available. So South India is paired with the Central India, and Central India is paired with the South India. So if you're going to create your data center here, South India, your data will be synchronized from South India to Central India. Now, in case of GRS, Microsoft copy your data synchronously 3 times within the same physical location. So see here, this is primary location. So Microsoft will offer you same data. They will offer you in the 3 copy of data. They will offer you in the same physical location. Okay, it then copy your data asynchronously to another or DR site. See here, it then copy your data asynchronously to a single physical location in the secondary region. So this will be your primary location, this will be the secondary location. So if you're going to select the replication type as the GRS, so what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will provide 3 copies of the data in the primary location. This will be your primary location. South India will be primary location. 3 copy of the data Microsoft will offer you in primary location, and remaining 3 copy of the data you people will get in secondary location. So in normal condition, guys, in normal condition, you people will get the services from this primary copy. Normal condition, you people will get the services from primary location. But in case of disaster, if all 3 copy of the data is going to damage, then you people will get the services from the secondary location. Guys, is it clear or not?
Clear.
Normal condition. In normal condition, it will work like LRS, and users will get services from primary location in normal condition. But because of any disaster, if something bad is happening, so automatically your connection will switch from primary to secondary location, and here it will be synchronous activity, and it will be a sync activity. Okay, but in case of disaster, or in case of failover, FAIL, in case of failover, communication will switch to DR side, and it will be async. Performance will be slower. Here in this case, performance will be slower. You people will get lower performance, and SLA will be 99.16 times 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 16. This will be the SLA. 19.9999 total 16 times 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 more time. So this will be the SLA. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not? So in normal condition, you people will get the services from primary location. If all 3 copy of the data is going damaged because of war situation, because of tsunami situation, or because of any particular disaster, then automatically your connection will switch from primary to secondary location. But in normal condition, you people will get the synchronous call, means it will be performance wise will be faster. But in case of disaster, your services will be up and running, but the performance will be degraded little bit. Not
so
much.
LRS will be the lower cost, right, Atul?
In terms of the costing, that's why I said I missed something. So here, if I'm talking about the LRS, so in case of LRS, it will give you 99.11 times 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So this will be the SLA in case of LRS. And in case of ZRS, SLA will be 99.12 times 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So this is the SLA in different conditions. And in terms of the costing, LRS is cheaper. Sorry, GRS SLA, LRS SLA. And in terms of the costing, that is most costly, that is expensive, and this is cheapest one. That is the cheapest one. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not? This is the most expensive one. I mean, this is very expensive, and this is cheapest. Is it clear? If it is clear, then we can move ahead.
Yes, Atul. It's clear.
Now the last one is called a RAGRS. So here, what will happen? It's the same. It's the same like the GRS, but in normal condition, it will work like the LRS. And user will get the services from the prime location. It will be sync SY. It will be sync activity. But in case of disaster, communication will switch. It switch to disaster recovery side. It will be async activity and performance will be slower. But here you cannot write. In case of GRS, you can read or write. Here you can read data, you can write data. But in case of RAGRS, you can read data, but you cannot write data. And you cannot write your data. Guys, this is clear or not? See, in this condition also, Microsoft will copy the 3 copy in the primary location and 3 copy in DR location. So 3 copy of data you people will get in Chennai and 3 copy of data you people will get in Pune. If all 3 copy of data from Chennai is going to damage, then Microsoft will switch your connection from Chennai to Pune. But here you can read data, but you cannot write. Here read and write both are possible. This is the only one difference. Guys,
It's clear.
Clear?
Clear.
Both are same. Remember? Here, this one and this one both are same. But here read and write both are possible. Here only read possible. Write is possible with the disaster. Hopefully, guys, it will be clear to all of you. Please, yes. If you have any question, unmute and ask your question. Let's say, is it clear or not?
Yeah, clear, Atul.
Yeah, clear, Atul.
So, guys, in case you are looking for the one more thing, in all 4 conditions, all these conditions, SLA is 99.99%. In terms of the costing, LRS is cheapest one and GRS is costly. If you are looking for the BCDR, business continuity and disaster recovery, then you can go with the GRS. Otherwise, in normal condition, you people can go with the LRS. Everyone, please go on mute, guys. Vagish, please go on mute. So, guys, Sharan, any question? Remember,
No, that's clear.
this is one of the topics, again repeating, from where you people will get hundreds of questions. This is a very hot topic. It is used by everyone, doesn't matter from which background you are. Okay, so can we move ahead now? If yes, then I'm going to move.
Yeah, we can move.
Now, so I was talking about the application. We have total 4 types of application available. Now, there are lots of property that is related to network that I will discuss coming Saturday. As of now, this is open for all. In case you want to access the same from any network, I can access, you can access. But in case you want to restrict, suppose this is one of my client, and suppose my company, E&Y, one of the big 4 companies that is mainly dealing in banking services, finance services, taxation, and technology. There are lots of customers. We have lots of customers available. Suppose I have some taxation related seat. What I would like to share this seat only with my customer. So what I have to do, I have to register my customer's network. I can register my customer network. If any customer is trying to access from their network, only they can access. Otherwise, data will be available publicly, but no one can access. Only your customer can access. So that I will show you coming Saturday. So for the time being, I'm going to provision it. So this I'm going to provision with the RAGRS. Okay, let me go with the GRS. We will cover each and every property, guys, but step by step. You can see here I have selected the location center India. So here I'm getting only 3. But if you're going to select any other location where zonal facility is available, you people will get more. Even nowadays, Microsoft is trying to introduce few more features, few more type of application they are trying to introduce, but not in all regions. With the, I think 8 or 12 regions only. Now, so here we are provisioning. In between, I'm going to create another one. So this time I'm going to create a general purpose V2. Now I'm going to create with the blob only. See here, okay, I'm going to pin. Same, I'm going to pin. Now here I'm going to pass the name like Jaguar. And location. Suppose location, I'm going to select the East US. So if you are going to select the East US, here you people will get more type of replication: LRS, ZRS, GRS, RAGRS. Nowadays, Microsoft trying to introduce these two. I mean, these are just two are just extended of the existing one. So, but journal facility is available only with the certain location. Now, if I'm going to select the zone attendant, and okay, I can select. Now, if I'm going to select the blob only, so what you will get? You will get only, remember this feature you will get here. You will get only blob. You will not get other type of storage. I'm going to show you. So here today I created two storages. Both I'm going to show you guys. One I created with the LRS, second I created with the GRS. In case of LRS, Microsoft will give you 3 copy of the data in the primary location. Means you people will get only primary location. Under that particular location, Microsoft will give you all the 3 copy of the data. Now, in case of GRS, Microsoft will give you 2 locations, primary location and secondary location. And 3 copy of the data you people will get in primary location and 3 from secondary. See here, both are ready. I'm going to pin this on the dashboard. So guys, this is with the blob only. Now, if I'm going to open blob, Jaguar blob, here I selected the type as a blob, account kind as a blob. So here I'll get only containers. Containers means blob storage. Recently, it was renamed by Microsoft. I think 3 or 4 months ago, it was renamed by Microsoft. So here, earlier it was called the blob storage, but nowadays it is called the containers. So containers is mainly used in case you are planning to maintain unstructured data. This is one of the very cost-effective storage. So here you will get only containers. But if I'm going to select with the general V2, general purpose V2, here I'll get all the type of storage. See here, containers means blob storage, file storage, table storage, and queue storage. And see here location, primary location available, secondary location also available. Primary location is Central India, secondary location is South India. Means Microsoft will provide you 3 copy of the data in Central India and 3 copy of the data they will provide you in South India. By default, you people will get the services from Central India, but in case of failover, your communication will switch from Central India to South India. By default, it will be synchronous, but in case of failover, it will be asynchronous. By default, in default case, it will be performance will be faster, but in case of disaster, it will be slower. Guys, is it clear or not? Dakshit, it's clear?
Clear, it's clear. Yeah, it's clear now. It's clear.
Now, in case of CRM, suppose I have developed a CRM. Same for the CRM, what I'm doing. First, one question: you people are deploying your CRM on top of the VM or on top of any particular platform?
VM only.
VM only. So if you people are going to deploy on top of the VM, so that will give you the lower SLA. Same stuff you are going to deploy on top of platform, over there you people will get a higher SLA. Anyway, now so finally guys, I created 2 storage. In one of the storage I created with the blob kind, so over there I received only containers, but here the second I created with the storage V2, here I received containers, file share means file storage, table storage, and queue storage. Queue storage is mainly used to store the messages. Table storage is used to maintain the structured data in a tabular format. File share is mainly used in case you are looking for the serverless file sharing. then you can go here. In case your people are planning to maintain unstructured data, then you can go with the container or blob. Remember, this topic is very big. It will take minimum 2 to 3 days. Region, we are going to cover each and every property. That will take time. Now, so far, in case anyone have any question, you can ask. See here, this is my resource group. Under resource group, I have created 2 resources. Both are listed here. If I'm going to delete my resource group, both resources will be deleted automatically. That's why here I was saying purpose of the resource group is mainly for the better manageability of your resources. Whatever the changes you are going to apply on top of the resource group, that will be applicable internally also. Raghu, any questions so far? Sampath, Sharan, Surya, any question?
No.
No questions.
This is boring or interesting? Guys,
Yes.
whatever we are covering, this is boring topic or interesting topic? Remember, silence is not a solution.
No, it's interesting because it's a very new for me.
Yes, sir.
Altogether, it's a very new for me.
Remember,
I don't
if
have any idea about this. It's interesting now. For
whatever
me, it's
we
interesting.
whatever we are talking, that is for the enterprise. Means small project, normally people are not using all these. But if you are looking for the big corporates, big companies, big project, this is the way people are working. Now, even this is just ABCD. Still, we are talking about the ABCD. Now, from coming Saturday, we are moving in more advanced level. Even whatever we are going to cover, that will be very advanced, very advanced. Okay, how you can design a very big project for the Indian Railways or for any aviation industry. Whatever you want, you can design here. Even if you want to migrate any website, same website, in case you want to migrate here, you have to pay only 1 rupees and 50 paise. Monthly, you people have to pay only 1 rupees and 50 paise, and you can run hundreds of websites in this amount, in case you want. Now, finally, here, I think we are very much close. Now, we are going to conclude here. So, once you completed your POC, guys, here in this environment, once you get, especially for Taksin, once you complete your work, what you can do, you just go and
Some noise is there. I'm not hearing you clearly from the background. I think
it's not from our end. I think there's some
clear.
Yeah. So once you complete your work, guys, make sure you people delete your resources or resource group. Again, repeating, once you completed your work, just go and delete your resource group. So initially today I said, in case you people are going to move, in case you people are going to apply any changes on top of the resource group, that will be applicable internally also. So here, if I'm going to delete my resource group, all resources will be deleted automatically. See here, this is my resource group. If I'm going to delete my resource group, all resources will be deleted automatically. See here, I'm going to delete my resource group. These 2 resources will be deleted automatically after a few minutes. So finally, guys, here I'm going to conclude. One suggestion to all of you, please start, just go and create your subscription, buy subscription and start the practice from there. Region, now we are not going to cover any theory. We are going to cover the architecture, solutioning and practical exposure. How people are working in real-time situation. Clear, guys? So here we are going to conclude now. Bye, everyone. And this recording, I will share by tomorrow morning.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
Cancel.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.